Frank Ehrhardt, John R. Wood Properties, Christie's International. I wanted to bring you the latest one-minute market update for the Southwest Florida area. In Cape Coral for the month of April, sales price was $369,000. That's down about 8% from the prior year. Days to sell, about 56 days. That's up from 52 days a year ago. Active listings in Cape Coral for the month of April, 4,799. That's about 11% up from the prior year. We sold 525 units in the month of April, and that's down 13% from the prior year. And that leaves us with about a 9-month supply of inventory. So my outlook for Cape Coral over the rest of the spring and summer, I think we're going to continue to have downward pressure on pricing. Hopefully we get through the season without a hurricane. I think we could have a decent fall season. So for the month of April 2025, our median sales price was $647,000. That's up 18% from the prior year. Days to sell is up quite a bit. That's 98 days for the month of April versus 41 days a year ago. We have 656 listings on Fort Myers Beach at the end of April. That's up 71% from the prior year. We had 32 sales in the month, and that's equal to the number of sales that we had last year. So at the end of April, we had a 21-month supply of inventory. That's up from 12 months a year ago, solidly in a buyer's market on Fort Myers Beach. So my outlook for Fort Myers Beach for the rest of spring and summer, tourism is down here. And so I think we're going to continue to see a downward pressure on pricing now through the end of summer. The median sales price for Fort Myers in the month of April was $365,000. That's down just 2% from the prior year. Days to sell, 51 days. That's up slightly from 45 days a year ago. At the end of April, we had 5,036 listings for sale. That's up 23% from the prior year. We had 539 sales in the month, and that's down about 10% from the prior year. And that leaves us about a 9-month supply of inventory solidly in a buyer's market. So my outlook for Fort Myers this summer, I think May and June could be a decent months for us. I think after that, things will slow quite a bit more for the rest of the summer months, and I think we'll continue to see some downward pressure on pricing. The median sales price for Sandcap was $880,000 for the month of April 2025. That's down about 20% from the prior year. Days to sell up to 107 days versus 49 days a year ago. Currently, there's 683 listings on the market. That's up 67% from the prior year. We had 29 sales in the month of April, and that's down 42% from the prior year. And that leaves us with a 24-month supply of inventory, and that's up from only 8 months a year ago. Good news for Sanibel, the Causeway beaches are finally open after 2.5 years after Ian. However, I still think we're going to see downward pressure on pricing with the amount of inventory that we have on the market right now. Frank Ehrhardt, John R. Wood Properties, Christie's International. I wanted to thank you for watching the 1-minute market updates for April 2025.